Right, so I said I'd go into the forest and record like an actual video so that that footage wouldn't just be uploaded completely bonelessly. Completely bonelessly. Where'd that even come from? But now that I'm here, I find myself with a complete lack of interesting things to talk about, as well as complete lack of interesting things to show. There's a bunch of birds being loud because it's early in the morning. That's about it. There's a bunch of water in places, sort of limiting where I could go, but not really. There's a fence over there with some sort of thing over there that I'm not going to name what it is for I don't know what reason, but I'm just not going to. There's like a bottle over there. It's behind that tree now. You can't see it, but there is pollution in the forest. Granted, this isn't very secluded or anything. There's a cool tree with a nice looking, I wouldn't really call this a burrow, but interesting. In the other video, I tried to say that the sky is blue. I said the sun is blue. I noticed that I made that mistake after watching the video. It doesn't really matter. The point I was making is that it was much better looking in the video than it was in real life. And I noticed that this is the case, it is the case with this as well. In the video, the moss looks very green, very lively. But in reality, it's a lot more yellowish green, more vomit green type deal. Yeah, that's interesting. I guess the saturation's turned up a little bit maybe when I was, I suppose I can't complain. That's better than it looking worse than it is in real life. Even my shoes look kind of white, except for not really, like those are already scuffed because why am I even wearing white sneakers in the fucking forest? What am I doing? I'm a fucking moron. Okay, don't be too harsh on yourself. Anyway, so complete lack of interesting things to talk about. I don't even know how long the video is going to be, due to the fact that I will have to edit those little clips of me like going to record the train, and then maybe add this on top of it and be like 10 minutes of monotonous walking, but there's a bonus. Or maybe I could make this 10 minutes and then have that on top of it, but I'm not sure if I want that. So after watching the video from 2 days ago, at a 2x speed as I usually do, both because it is more efficient and because it makes listening to myself a bit more bearable, I have found that 10 minutes isn't really that long. I didn't think that the video was lacking for content, in the sense that, maybe I should say content density. Is this like fox hair? Could be. That's cool. Or maybe it's like boar hair. Maybe it came here and then it scratched its back against the tree and then like shed a bunch because of spring. Could be. I don't know if boars have white hair. White fur, rather. Could have just been like a dog. As I was saying, I don't think it's that I wasn't talking enough. It's just that maybe 10 minutes isn't enough. I don't know if I want to have more. Actually, I certainly do not want to have more. I might, but at the moment I don't think that would be a good idea. I don't want to have less. I don't want to make a script. I don't want to force myself to talk faster or think of more interesting things to talk about. I don't really want to change the formula. I just want to express my, what would the word be? I suppose displeasure? Is that a word, displeasure? I don't think that's a word. I just want to say that I'm not very pleased with how the videos are turning out. This one in particular is going to be quite boring. It is going to have something new. It is going to be poorly edited, and it is going to just look bad. It's going to look like a really bad attempt at what those cool YouTubers do when they have like really high octane vlogs with the upbeat music with a spring in my step. Shit like that. I don't want that. Like, those trees are pretty tall. That's cool. Let's find like a place to sit. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of cut-off tree over there. Yeah. In the last video, you could say that I had a reason to make it. I had a sort of incentive. And that incentive would be a sort of mix of at least 3 different things. One, the fact that I hadn't made a video in quite a while. 2, the sort of excuse that I came up with on the spot. The fact that I had tried to make a video each time it snowed, and that I hadn't this time in particular, so then I ended up making that. And also that someone told me to do one, to make one. Alright, we're chilling now. Someone told me to make a new video. I disagreed. I said that I shouldn't force art. That's mostly a joke. I don't think this is art. I think this is really quite the opposite. The opposite? I'm not sure what the opposite of art is. I mean, you could call this art, it just isn't. It's not brilliant or anything. Maybe I should take off my mask. I don't know why I'm even wearing a mask in the forest. But yeah, in this one video, I don't have an excuse for it. I think the other one turned out okay, even though I wasn't walking. It was fine. It somewhat elevated my mood. And the day after, I had to go and do something for a bit, and I was in the capital. While there, it snowed twice. Just out of the blue. Somewhat intense snow, but it didn't stick around. It was only for like maybe 2 minutes each time. So I suppose I could play off the same excuse again, that it did snow. The whole point in making a video those first 3 times was to kind of show the fact that it's March and it's snowing, and act all cavalier about it, all nonchalant, like it's no big deal. But then it just got past that. The excuse is hardly valid. I don't have to have an excuse in the first place. I can make a video if I wanted to. I could start making a video every single day and have it completely uninteresting. You know, there's a lot of things that you could do. It doesn't necessarily mean that you should do them. And even if you could get away with doing them, there are still always consequences of one kind or another. I'm not necessarily concerned with burning out my audience. I don't think I have much of one anyway. I don't think I need much of one anyway. And frankly, they should stop being an audience. Because you're wasting your time watching this shit. I'm just doing what I usually do, except that I also hold up my camera being my phone. The only inconvenience for me in this is that I have to take off my gloves when it's cold, and then my hands are sort of freezing. And then I also kind of feel bad not having put as much effort into the video as I could have, not standing up, what was the word? I hold myself to a certain standard. So what is it when I don't, alright, so not meeting my own standard, perhaps. That'd be the word. Right. Which is why I somewhat worry. I wouldn't say I worry, but I do sometimes try to make a video and then I decide that it's too bad and I don't anymore. Like right now, I'm not even putting in any effort. I'm not even moving my phone around. I am doing it just now, but yeah, I could do this. Should I do that? No, not that. No, you can't even do that anymore. Okay, never mind. I'm not even going to explain what I wanted to do. I don't know. There really just isn't much to say. There isn't much to do. Sometimes people say that they're envious of my position of having places where I can go and walk. They're not really that interesting. Like, you just have to go make them interesting. And I'm not taking my own advice. I could make this a lot more interesting than it actually is. I could go jump over that fence. I could go back to that building from before. I could go to places and do things. I could maybe even train hop. Probably can't really do that, but yeah. 10 minutes is up. See ya.